What's up, guys? Ricky here with another review on the McFarlane Toys Monolith Spawn figure. Just got this thing today, and this thing is pretty sick in box. Okay, so let's look real quick. So we got some really good sculpt going on. Looks like we got a nice little black wash in the teeth, which look good. Got some paint application on the belt, which looks nice. I like the nice reddish orange tone. I think it looks pretty cool. Let's see. So they painted the toenails. Gold looks okay. They did not paint the fingernails, so that might be worth painting if you feel like having fingernail tones. But looking pretty good in box. Okay, so that's the front. Here is the side of the box. Here is the back. Got some really cool artwork going on here. 22 moving parts. Looking really nice. And then here is the same artwork, but on the side, which looks really good. So, yeah, and you might notice I'm in a slightly different location because I still got this set up from my Behind the Shot video. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. I was doing some photography with the Isolated Clan, so pretty cool there. But let's open this up and see what we are looking at. Okay, here is Monolith out of the package. And details on this are pretty good. I have a few things I really like and a few things I don't like, and I will talk about that in just a second. So here we go. So if you look real close, obviously McFarlane does a great job with textures and details, so nothing wrong there, right? Looks nice. The head, you could tell they did a little wash on the face, which looks really nice. So it really brings out the teeth and those extra details. Now it would have been really nice if they continued that black wash to the rest of the body. However, it still doesn't bother me too much, so I may black wash it just to do it, but it doesn't necessarily need it. Now, if you go down to the shoulders, they did do skulls on both sides, and they did black wash those, and you can tell, so it brings out a lot more of those details as well. Really nice belt, good details, nice silver tones. Could black wash those if you really want to. You got these gauntlets that look nice. Another skull there and a nice little rope going around there too, which looks really nice. Okay, you got some chains. Little pouches there. You have silver gauntlets there for the leg, and then you have the gold there as well. So, and like I said earlier, they painted the toenails, didn't paint the fingernails. Now the cool thing about this one is like, yeah, the details and stuff are phenomenal. Like, absolutely love it. And the size looks nice too. Now my gripe is that if anyone had the overt kill, it was very cheap plastic, and if you remember that. And unfortunately, same thing. So cheaper plastic here, and I'll show you some what happened too. So, and I don't know if yours will be like this, but what happens is I was kind of trying to get the head to go up, and when you start prying pressure, you see that crack there on the side when you pry a little bit. So be careful when you adjust the head up, because you know, I don't want you all to break the head there. So that's what I noticed there. And then this foot, for some reason, and this might just be mine, was really stuck, so it was kind of hard to maneuver. But I got to the point where let's just try it and see what happens. Didn't break, which is good, but it was really stuck there, just to let you know. But overall, the figure is really nice. I think it does look better on the top, even though it is the cheap plastic overkill. It does feel and look a little bit better. But for a mega figure, I was expecting something a little more solid on the top for sure. But yeah, so cool. So let's get into the articulation. Okay, here we go. The head looks up, not very far. So it looks up about this far. And remember, just be careful. If you go too far, you will get that plastic kind of opening up. So be careful there. Don't want to do that. You do have head tilt side to side, which is pretty nice. It does rotate side to side. Like I said, this here is very hollow, but you do have a little diaphragm joint that goes forward quite a bit, back quite a bit, rotate side to side. You do have the arm joints. They go up about 90 degrees, which is really impressive. So what happens is this is connected down here, so it just slides up, which is really good. So got some good articulation there. You do have a little bit of elbow articulation, so it is just a single joint with some rotation in it. And then you do have wrist articulation as well. So, yeah, so not bad there. You'd see at the legs, you have go out about that far, so almost in the splits. If you want Monolith to do the splits, it could be fun. You do obviously have a little rotation in and out. You do have leg articulation, just single jointed with a swivel as well. And then you do have ankle articulation and toe articulation. Like I said, the ankle articulation, especially on this one, is really, really tight, so just be careful. But overall, for a big figure, I think it's articulated well enough. Like I said, the only thing you need to be careful for is your head joint. So it does not articulate well upward, but yeah, just be careful. But yeah, look at that wash. It looks nice. That'd have been cool to get that wash all the way across here. But if you don't, it's an easy thing to do, obviously, black wash. So and that could make this whole thing look really, really cool like that. So I actually may do that. Okay, here we go. So here is the size comparison real quick. So this is the new wave. So all the characters from wave 5 of the Spawn. So, and you can see, right, Monolith towers above both of them. Medieval Spawn comes in second as far as height, and then Sin is right behind him. So let's do a quick measurement real quick. So we have Monolith, which stands 9 inches even. And that looks like that's going to get us at 23 centimeters roughly. Then we have Medieval Spawn, which looks like, if you include the top of the little mask, that's 7 3/4 inches. Or that equals out to around 20 centimeters, pretty close to that. Then you have Sin, who stands at roughly about 7 inches tall. And then that puts us at about 18 centimeters. So yeah, so the height, I think they all fit in well together, because I think Medieval Spawn's supposed to be taller than your average Spawn, and Sin is kind of like your average as far as height goes. So let's measure with some other ones here real quick. Okay, so here are all the mega figures that they've released, all next to each other. And as you can see, it looks like he is probably the second shortest. It's hard to tell with Sigor because he's not standing straight up. But I think that fits in scale pretty well. So in the comics, when we first see him in the comics, he destroys actually that Overkill, which is pretty crazy. So they're roughly the same height. Looks like Overkill stands a little bit taller, which might actually be the case. Let's see. So the Violator obviously towers over everyone, and that is literally the best mega figure that they've done. You have Sigor in the back, like stands around the same height, probably a little taller if you are standing. Yeah, and then Omega Spawn, and that was literally one of my favorites, and it was in my top 10 of the figures last year just because of the sculpt itself. But the figure itself is just interesting because it is actually very short. So yeah, it's interesting because even on the island, right, so that's where you get to meet Monolith first, and then after Monolith you get to meet Omega Spawn. And Omega Spawn was towering, like I'm talking like like he could grab Spawn with one arm, like that, to give you an idea of height. So I understand to make him an action figure form, they maybe needed to scale him down. And who knows, maybe maybe he can manipulate his size, I don't know. But still, they should have made him at least Violator's height, at least. Like, he should have been very, very tall like that. But either way, it's fine. Not too bad, but that is definitely something they could have done better. But as far as scale goes, I think it fits in with the Mega figures very well. Okay, and just for fun, here he is next to the Marvel Select Red Hulk and Green Hulk. So you can tell he stands a little bit shorter, but could be kind of a fun little matchup if you decide you want to go, you know, cross category there and go from McFarlane to Marvel Select. So pretty cool. Okay, final thoughts on Monolith. I really like this figure. So I think it's a really good addition to the Spawn line. The character design, the sculpt, the details. Big fan. I think they did a really good job with this mega figure. And even the size is pretty good. I think it fits in. It's pretty true to size of Monolith. Only complaint I have about the whole figure is that it is very hollow right here. And then when you try to move the head up, it does kind of crack on that line of plastic. So that's mine. So maybe yours isn't that way, which would be awesome. But that's kind of how mine's rolling so far. So overall, could benefit from maybe some black wash, but I don't think you really need to. I think the details and the amount of, you know, wash they did on the skulls and the head, I think look fine just as is. So I may customize it, may not. I'll let you know. And yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe. We keep gaining subscribers, so thank you all so much for supporting this channel, and I'll bring more customizations, reviews. If you haven't seen the Predator Clan videos, that's kind of what's going on over there. Feel free to check those out, because a lot of people really like those. It's cool to kind of know the stories behind a lot of those as well. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next video.